are back. He started Rogers High School and went on to win the John Mackey Award as the nation's top tight end at USC. And now, after 3 years with the Washington Redskins, Fred Davis is waiting to return to the field as the NFL continues to deal with that awful collective bargaining agreement or lack thereof. Tonight, Fred Davis is in the house as we talk high school, college, and pro football with a City League icon. Fred, first of all, welcome back to Toledo.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming in tonight. Let's start at the very beginning. Let's talk about, Fred Davis back in his Rogers days. How did you get into football?
Wow, I got into football. I came to Rogers my freshman year. I didn't know what high school I was going to. I volleyed around a few high schools, tried to see where I wanted to go. And somehow Rogers was in our district too, and it was between Rogers, I think, and Central, and ended up going to Rogers. Last minute decision. My mom was like, "Hey, you know where you want to go?" I was like, "I'll just go to Rogers." And most of my friends all went to Rogers, so it was like kind of like one of the things. You were raised already in 6th grade, 7th grade, going to friends, so you might as well finish it up that way. And I met Coach Rios, and my freshman year, he looked at me. I was really skinny then, a little skinny guy then, but he looked at me and told me, "Yeah, you're gonna be on the freshman team." And my first year on the freshman team did pretty well, and they were ready for me the sophomore year in the varsity.
What did he tell you when he first saw you? Gained some weight, man.
Yeah, he said, "You might need to get you in this weight room." At the time, that was when Drushan was still alive. R.I.P. Drushan Humph. He was alive then. He told me too. He's like, "Yeah, you better be ready for next year. We're gonna be awesome." So that would have been good to see that. But other than that, that's when it really started for me.
A lot of good memories of high school in the Toledo area.
Oh yeah, man. A lot of good memories. I just remember I used to go to Rogers games when he used to play and watch him and see how he used to dominate. They used to make me want to do the same thing, and that's what happened when I went to my years.
A lot has changed since then. I was filling you in the commercial break. No freshman sports anymore.
Yeah.
New conference in the Three Rivers Athletic Conference, leaving the City League schools kind of on their own. What do you think about that? I mean, you're a guy that went through the freshman system at Rogers. You talked about playing and really growing as an athlete, and it turned out to be a professional career and a darn fine career. Just, how tough is that to see the kids not have the opportunity that you had?
I think it's definitely sad for the kids, I think, on their part, because just not to be able to have that same routine that we all have had for years now, freshman sports and all in the city, all still in the city, and the schools were all city together, like still working together and stuff. It's just sad to see for them that they're not going to be able to have that that year for themselves. I mean, that's just something that's special, a moment. I mean, I'll never forget my freshman year and going through all things, just learning in high school and also the sports-wise, learning from the guys that are older than me and being a freshman, and definitely still being a part of the city. So I don't know, they're breaking it up. That was new news to me, and you informed me about that, and I thought that was crazy. But things happen with a recession time like this right now, and that's crazy.
And things are happening for you right now in the NFL. So we fast forward, you had a great career at USC and then drafted by the Redskins in the 2nd round, and you've been a Washington Redskin now. The strike, it's not the strike, the lockout, the collective bargaining, whatever you want to call it, you guys aren't playing. What are you doing right now? What's going through your mind while this whole thing shapes up?
Well, right now is a time when you need to really kind of focus in. This is when guys can get lazy. You can come into camp when the lockout, because when the lockout is over, they're still gonna have to get the paperwork and the CBA, and then when that's all finished, then we're gonna be right into it. We're gonna be falling in. I'm sure coaches will waste no time to get us in there and get us into practice, film session, workouts, all that right away. And it's gonna show, I think, for the guys like myself, for a year like this that is a special year, 4th year, contract year, and just a year where you got to really put it all out there. And I think for me, I'm just working out. A lot of guys that I know on my team are working out at this facility. Since we can't go to the facility, we work out there, and it's been doing pretty well. I feel pretty good. So
you said you have about 40 or 50 guys at a local high school in the D.C. area?
Yeah, 40 or 50 guys came out. We come out like once a month for 3 days. 3 days, like a 3-day little practice once a month. We did it last month. We're going to do it this month, and then we'll do it next month if we have to. But hopefully we won't need to. So.
What's it like to be in the NFL? I mean, this is your contract year, your 4th year. You're drafted in 2008. What's your career been like? Obviously, you didn't take off right away, but at the same time, you're progressively getting better and better and getting more catches, getting more touches, and getting, I guess, a better feel for the game?
Yeah, it's really, to me, what I would say what it really is, it's not really feel. It's more just have the opportunity level. I mean, this NFL is crazy. It's not about the best player. It's about who they can trust. And at a time when I came in, I was younger still, and they already had a veteran guy in Chris Cooley, and I just had to sit back and watch. And now I've sit back and watch, and now I'm a veteran myself now. This is about to be my 4th year, and I'm getting a lot more opportunities, and I feel like this year definitely will be a special one for me. So.
What all have you learned?
Oh man, just learning about life in general. Just being a grown-up, you know. Going from a kid to being a grown-up, 25-year-old now. I just remember being a kid not having anything, and now being able to do things that I never probably would think of. But you just got to be smart about it. Just that part, learning about it, and just the whole thing, just being able to handle it all at once. That's the most important part.
Is it tough to go from literally nothing to having millions of dollars, a different lifestyle, living in a different city, being out on your own? And you mentioned the growing up process. I can't even imagine how you'd handle that, much less at 25, but at 35 or 45. You just go from one extreme to another.
Yeah, it's not easy. Definitely not easy. You always have the eye on you, you know. Somebody's always watching, you know, and it's just one of the things you got to just stay focused.
Got to talk to you a little bit about college football. USC, probation, you know about that.
Yeah.
Ohio State's in all kinds of trouble, another school that you had high on your list. Is it going to come to a time, or should it come to a time, Freddie, where they should just say, all right, we're going to give athletes a certain amount of money, have a stipend, or what can you do to be able to just kind of stop all this and make it equal? Or can you? Or will it ever be equal?
Oh, it definitely could be equal. It's one of them situations I feel that, come on, I mean, the school gets all this money. You know, bowl games, you know those bowl games are worth a lot. And, you know, they get all that money, and the students should get something. I mean, to survive off $1,000 a month in a city in LA is impossible. It's just impossible to put. After you pay rent, that's $800 right there. Then you have $200 to eat for the rest of it. You know, it's kind of impossible. It puts kids in a tough situation. You know, you got a guy around the corner probably coming to you and saying, I can do this and this for you, and you don't have anything. I mean, most kids, what do you think, they're going to turn it down? And most of them are going to say yes. And,
did you have guys come like that to you?
Sure. I mean, you know, guys always try, you know. You just got to know what you're worth. I mean, you know, so a guy offer you this money. I mean, can you be worth more than that? I mean, do you want to owe this guy something? And that's the things you got to think about. And I mean, sometimes when you don't think about it, you make the wrong decision, and you can see it blows up in your face, as USC did. A lot of guys, you know, started doing it and it started blowing up. So. Well,
you haven't been back to Toledo for a while. We welcome you back. You threw out a good pitch at the Bunheads game.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It wasn't that great, but hopefully, you know, I get another shot at it again.
Best of luck, and best of luck in your career. We look forward to following you with the Redskins and in the future. And let's get this collective bargaining agreement settled. Let's cross our fingers and get football on.
Definitely. That's what we need to do. Let's make it happen.